All right. Okay, there we go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's America's favorite agent, AJ Penn here. We're live during happy hour. And I'd like to introduce my special guest today, Masha Slamovich. Masha, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on here today.
No, of course. I appreciate you coming on. We're in the middle of this craziness in the world. So, doing the show, just trying to keep everybody busy, trying to have some fun while we're here. And you are actually in a very interesting situation because when all this happened, I know you're a New Yorker like I am, but you were in the middle of a tour in Japan.
Yes, that's correct.
So you're in a weird situation. Like, how did this affect you? I know you're still over there, correct?
Yes, I am. I'm probably going to remain here for quite some time as well.
How are you like this? That's got to be so throw your life into an upheaval. Being in how are you taking care of things in New York? How is things going in Japan? Like, what's it like over there during this right now?
Well, to start off, I was out here and I was preparing to fly back in time for WrestleMania week, which was on April 1st, which seems like it was a year ago, but apparently that was just a month ago. Uh, so that was a plan that went up in flames, obviously. So I decided to stay here. Man, it's so hard to keep track of the time, when I don't know what month it is. But, anyways, I decided to stay here after I found out that everything was canceled in the States. And unfortunately, following suit in that, around March 26th, they declared a emergency order out here. So they pretty much canceled live shows and were only allowed to do tapings in any wrestling form out here as well. So, at the end of the day, I'm still training every day. I have access to weights in the dojo. I'm doing tapings twice a month. So I have a fantastic situation that I can't really complain about. When in regards to taking care of things in New York, I don't have much to take care of, thankfully, which just leaves me to stay here and study and hone my craft. And I'm very, very happy and blessed to be able to do so in this crazy time.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, how is that? Now we're so wrapped up in everything here because like New York is one of the epicenters. It's getting so crazy over here. How is everything over there in Japan? Is there a lot of still restrictions or like what does it look like over there during this? Because over here it's still insane.
There wasn't too many restrictions enforced out here because the order was nowhere near as strict as it is in New York City. Uh, if I look outside, I have a park right across the street from my house. Everyone is still in the park, still running, walking their dogs, doing whatever, but everyone understands the meaning of stay 6 feet apart. So I can't if everyone is 6 damn feet apart when they're told to do so. And everybody wears masks, regardless of being sick, being not sick. It's kind of like a fashion statement out here. So, different kinds of masks. I know that within the crowded areas of Tokyo, like Shinjuku, Harajuku, stuff like that, a lot of businesses have shut or limited their hours of service. But I live in what I could describe as like if Tokyo is New York City, like Manhattan, then I live in like the Queens. I live in Funabashi, Chiba. And I just came back from dinner. I was just out with my friend having dinner for the last 6 hours. Restaurants are open, businesses are open. Our life is pretty normal here, honestly. If you were deaf, you wouldn't know anything is going on, really.
Oh, well, that's definitely different from what's going on here. It's still insane over here. I guess they're ahead of the curve over there with the masks and everything. Yeah, but it's still crazy over here. We're on lockdown still. New York is supposed to on pause on May 15th. We don't even know what that means yet, but yeah, that's pretty interesting to hear. We have such a different perspective of what's going on. So I don't know. It's real. I don't know if it's good or hopeful to see it, but obviously, they're dealing with it differently over there than we are because we're a bunch of idiots over here, and nobody knows personal boundaries, and especially in New York. But I want to touch back now with what you said, because it's very interesting from what we know here. Only here, WWE and AEW have been able to put on live shows. The rest of us have not. So how has it been for you guys being able to still perform and do empty arena matches and, just do tapings? Like, how have you guys adjusted to that?
It took us about a month from our last live show, to kind of sort things out and start doing these tapings. At first, we were just doing our products on YouTube Live, which did not include wrestling matches. It was just extracurricular things. But we have a setup on Fresh Live where we put out dojo shows and tapings that are done here in the dojo every second and fourth Sunday of every month. And let me tell you, we fit all of our cameras, all of our, production. We fit everything in the dojo and kind of move the weights around and all that good stuff. So we have quite the good setup going on. Everyone gets into gear and we have shows, and it's about as normal as I can expect it to be without an audience.
Do you guys have any timetable when fans can come back to shows, or at least slowly start?
I read an article the other day on Facebook that said that cases and whatnot in Japan are falling even without extreme preventative measures like we're seeing in New York City. So there isn't currently a time frame, but cross my fingers, there is a slight amount of hope that within some sort of envisionable future, things might start to return to normal at some point.
Okay. That's somewhat hopeful. Yeah, over here in Florida, as is one of the craziest states, they're saying as of, I think, tomorrow, they're going to be, and they're at least WWE and AEW can start having fans at a 25% rate. Whatever that means, I don't know. They haven't discussed anything yet, but we'll see. This is just interesting times.
Really, people in the entire world with audience, so God bless that. I can't wait to wrestle in front of an audience myself. So
I know we all miss all of that, but yeah, again, these are unprecedented times. Hopefully we can get back to normal soon. Speaking of not normal things in wrestling, we were talking about this before we started taping. You did catch the cinematic matches at WrestleMania. What do you think of those style of matches going forward, at least for the time being, to try to keep interest going on? Because I can understand some people it being tough to watch with no crowd, as you're used to just the wrestlers reacting to everything going around. And so how do you feel about those kind of matches?
Well, the AJ Styles Undertaker match, I loved it. I thought it was great. Nothing I can say about that. If they were to put out like a sequel to it, 10 out of 10, I would watch it. The Firefly Funhouse match, good Lord, what in the fresh hell was that? I mean, it was, I felt like I was on an acid trip for 20 minutes, I was, good God. I mean, it's not wrestling. It's not like, if you're telling me that that's a wrestling match, you're full of shit, because that was not wrestling whatsoever. At least in the Undertaker and AJ Styles match, there was a fight. They were actually fighting each other and throwing each other off of the roof and whatnot, and punching. And if you were to legitimately see a fist fight in a graveyard, I don't know, but that would be something you would see. That Firefly Funhouse match is something out of somebody's nightmare. Entertaining, yes. Wrestling, absolutely not. Like, if you're going to have wrestling matches, go out there and have a wrestling match. Wrestle. But don't tell me that that's wrestling. You want to call it entertainment or whatnot? Have at it. But, shit.
I mean, WWE is famous for that, and at least along the lines of a Firefly Funhouse and Bray Wyatt character, It kind of made sense. So I loved it. I thought it wasn't a match. It was some weird ass LSD trip to dream, but I enjoyed it. It fit with the character. I like to travel through time, but it was something different. I guess you either
So
live in a
Bray Wyatt win the match.
yeah.
Did he win? I can't even call it a match. I don't know what exactly was the outcome. Where did the bell ring and all of this? But that's just my confusion, I suppose.
It leaves stuff open. Yeah, I mean, from then reading later on online, like it was supposed to be all of John Cena's failures, so you don't know if he finally succumbed to all of his demons or if Bray Wyatt finally vanquished him. I guess it leaves stuff up to the imagination. So I give him a ton of credit. It was a lot of fun to watch. I'm excited for Money in the Bank fighting on top of the roof. That should be interesting.
Exactly, because I've not been keeping up with. First of all, you're telling me they're fighting on the roof. Who's fighting on the roof? What's going on here? And my other question to you is, I heard that they're doing simultaneous Money in the Bank matches. Is this true? Is this for
Yes,
real?
yes. The men's and women's matches are going to go on at both at the same time. They start out at the lobby of Titan Tower, and they have to battle up to the top where there's a ring set up with the harnesses with the. It's gonna be a cluster, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm excited for it actually because we've never seen anything like it, and it's something different than.
I might actually have to take the time to watch this because everything you just said blew my mind. I don't know what in the fresh hell that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm excited. And then plus too, like they haven't specified, like they mentioned once in a throwaway that about people cashing in the same night. So I don't know if the other matches are going to be done on the roof too, or if they're going to tape those at the performance center. Everything is up in the air. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. uh, but back to normalcy. Once how do you see pro wrestling, at least in the United States? If once you're able to come back, how do you see us progressing in this new era? Because obviously there's going to be new restrictions. How do you think everything's, at least in the beginning, the first maybe 6 months once we start, how do you see things going on?
Well, in my opinion, we are going to have to do our best to work around these restrictions and find loopholes. What I mean by that is when they tell you that you have a capacity of 100 people in a building, and then they tell you that wrestlers are part of the capacity, we're coming around to summer and fall. It ain't that damn cold out. So I would suggest we get a tent. We make that the locker room. And you keep the people outside so you can have 100 fans in there. And that way we're not interfering with capacity. That's one way I could see a loophole. And we should just try our best to try to work around the restrictions and try to get as normal as possible, get fans in the building, get wrestlers in the ring, and do what we always do.
Do you have any dream matches when you come back here? What is on your horizon when you return?
There is, I definitely look forward to coming back and forth to Limitless Wrestling. And Daniel Garcia, I want the smoke and I want the fight. And you can tell everybody I said that.
What we've been talking about too, at least like here, it's been a little tough, with people out of work and stuff. But if we can support, I love to see positive things going on online. A lot of wrestlers have been sharing their stores, anything, the content they're putting out to try to just keep people's minds off stuff. Do you have a store? Do you want to promote any online content you're putting out, or like YouTube with your matches that people can watch?
I do have a recently opened Pro Wrestling Tees store. That would be prowrestlingtees.com/Masha Slamovich. And I have a Twitter and an Instagram, which are also at Masha Slamovich, where you can keep up with my ranting and random opinions on Twitter, and on Instagram, pretty much with my daily life and my workouts and whatever other content I just feed up there.
All right. Well, I thank you for coming on here today. I know we have a time difference. I'm in New York. You're in Japan. I'm glad to hear everything is going on great over there, or at least progressing more than we are here. Uh, Good luck with everything over there. Keep on doing shows and enjoying yourself. And we hope to see you back in New York soon. Hopefully, we can get back to business.
Thank you, and you stay safe. And I definitely, I'll be back, like the Terminator. I'll be back at some point. I don't know when, but I'll be back. That's all I can say for now.
That's great. Well, thank you for taking time with us, and we'll see you back in a moment.